Welcome children. In the last class we have started the lesson Refugee, which was written by Wallace Bar. Now we will start the remaining part. First let us have a recap of the lesson. In the first part we have learned that the Chinese farmers were forced to go to the cities because of the floods. So in the city how they are suffering due to lack of food and shelter, we have learned in the first chapter. What happened then? They came from country roads. Farmers will be in the villages. In villages there will be no pakka roads. Only country roads will be there. But now when they came to the city, they were walking on the concrete roads. Even though there were many pieces of items on the roads, on the sidewalks, the villagers are not looking at any of them, and they were walking as if they were in a dream. Then there were hundreds of refugees who came to the city. They were very poor, and then they were in the camps outside the city. After that, the city people were very angry because they have to give food to the refugees. Then this bitterness or angriness has made them shout at beggars and give small fares to rickshaw pullers, because the refugees who came to the city were doing any work, any kind of work, whether they are skilled in that or no, they started doing any work, and if they don't get any work, they were seen dead at the dawn. Means in the morning after the freezing night, they were seen dead on the roads. Let us continue the lesson from page number 36. But these men were no common men, no riffraff from some community, always poor and easily starving in flood time. No, these were men and women of which any nation might have been proud. It could be seen they were all from one region, for they wore garments woven out of the same dark blue cotton stuff, plain and cut in an old-fashioned way, the sleeves long and the coats long and full. The men wore smoked aprons, the smoking done in curious, intricate, beautiful designs. The women had bands of the same plain blue stuff wrapped like kerchiefs about their heads. Both men and women were tall and strong in frame, although the women's feet were bound. Every man and every lad bore a burden on his shoulder. This burden was always bedding, quilts made of the blue cotton stuff and padded, and the clothing clean and strongly made. On the top of every folded quilt, with a bit of mat between, was an iron cauldron. See the meanings? Riffraff, people with bad reputation or people of a low social class, means poor people. Garment, an item of clothing. Sleeves, the part of the cloth that covers the person's arm. Smoking, decoration on a garment created by gathering the material into tight pleated pattern, means tightly stitched. Intricate, detailed and complicated. Curious, unusual. Lad, boy. Bore, to carry. Quilt, warm bed covering. Padded, filled with soft material like your pillow. Cauldron, a large metal pot with a lit handle. Burden, a heavy load. Now, if you see in the picture, the people were walking on the sidewalks. Those were the refugees. Now, these people are not common people. They were not common. No riffraff means they are not badly reputed or poor. Whenever there is flood, they will not starve easily. They were also rich when they were in the villages. They were not common people or poor, but they were also rich when they were in their villages. They are also not used to starve easily whenever the floods came, but they were also men every nation can be proud of. All the nations nowadays are very proud of the farmers or who do the agricultural as their work. Then all the people, whoever has come to the city, are from one region only, means same region. We can make out that from the dark blue color cotton clothes. All people were wearing the same color, dark blue, same pattern clothes. They were cut in old-fashioned way. In the city, the modern type of dresses will be there, but in the villages, they have old-fashioned clothes. Then the sleeves, means the part of the garment which covers the arm, were very long. And the men wore smoked aprons, means they were tightly stitched. Then all the women wear plain blue color handkerchief on their heads. This also you can see in the picture. Then the people who came, the men and the women, were very tall and strong. All the people, maybe it is a boy or a man, they had a burden, means they have a load on their shoulders. They were carrying loads on their shoulders. What were there in the loads? Mostly quilts, means where they can sleep on in the camps in the refugees. Then there were mats and iron cauldron, means the pots in which they can cook their food. These cauldrons had doubtless been taken from the earthen ovens of the village. When the people saw the time had come, they must move. But in no basket was there a vestige of food, nor there was a trace of food having been cooked in them recently. This lack of food was confirmed when one looked closely into the faces of people. In the first glance in the twilight, they seemed well enough, but when one looked more closely, one saw they were the faces of people starving and moving now in despair to the last hope. They saw nothing from the strange sights of a new city because they were too near death to see anything. No new sight could move their curiosity. They were men and women who had stayed by their land until starvation drove them forth. Thus they passed unseeing, silent, alien, as those who knew themselves dying or alien to the living. Here the cauldrons are the pots which they were carrying were taken out from the earthen ovens, means the stove made by mud. In the villages the stoves will be made with mud and they use wood to burn in that. Then in those cauldrons also there was no food, not even a trace of food. Vestige means the trace of food. It was not there in the cauldrons, and not even they have used for cooking it recently. When one saw them closely, they were starving to death, almost to death they were starving. These were the people who do not have even the last hope that they will be, in future they will be good. The last hope was also not there on their faces. As they were very poor and starving, no new sight, means if you see anything beautiful or something new, you will be curious. But the people were not curious to any new sight because they stayed there in their village until starvation. Now no food was available to them. Then they came out from the villages. Then in the new city, they were feeling as if they were aliens. In the first part also we learned that aliens are the new to a particular place. Then they were moving on silently without no interest. They were not showing any interest on any new thing which was kept on the sidewalk. Then they were believing that they were about to die as they have lack of food. The last one of this long procession of silent men and women was a little wizened old man. Even he carried a load of 2 baskets slung on a pole on his shoulder, the same load of a folded quilt and a cauldron. But there was only one cauldron. In the other basket, it seemed, but there was but a quilt, extremely ragged and patched, but clean still. Although the load was light, it was too much for the old man. It was evident that in usual times he would be beyond the age of work, and was perhaps unaccustomed to such labor in recent years. His breath whistled as he staggered along, and he strained his eyes to watch those who were ahead of him, lest he be left behind, and his wrinkled old face was set in sort of gasping agony. See the meanings? Procession, a number of people or vehicles moving forward in an orderly fashion. Wizened, wrinkled with age. Slung, thrown casually. Rugged, old and torn. Patched, repaired. Evident, clearly seen or understood. Beyond means past. Unaccustomed, not used to. Labor, physical work. Breath, whistled. High-pitched whistling sound made when you breathe. Staggered, walked unsteadily as if about to fall. Agony, extreme pain. Now when the people were coming to the city, they were coming in line, in procession. In a line they were coming, all the people, they were walking in a line from village to the city. They were all silent, men, women and children. At the last of this line, at the last of the procession, there was a wizened man, means old man with wrinkled face. When people become old, their faces get wrinkles. This was the old man, the last of the procession. As other people were carrying loads, this old man was also carrying load of 2 baskets strung on the shoulder. Like people get water in the villages, they were using the pole to strung on the shoulder and put the 2 baskets of loads. In one basket there was one cauldron, and in the second there were a quilt. It was very clean, old, patched, but it was very clean. But the load of the wizened man was light. Because he was old, that light weight also was too much for the old man. Then when you see the wizened old man, he is beyond the age of work. In your house also, your grandfathers or grandmothers will be there who work for up to 60 years, then they will retire. Even here, the old man was at the age of retirement, means they cannot work further. But due to the floods and starvation, this old man also was carrying load on his shoulders. Because he was carrying load on his shoulders, his breath whistled. Whenever you breathe, take long breaths inside, when you breathe out and breathe in, sound will be coming. That is called the whistling breath. Then he strained his eyes, means he gave pain to his eyes to see the people who were going ahead of him. The young people will walk very fast, but this man was very old, so he was not able to walk so fast as the young other men and women. So he was giving pain to his eyes to see how the people are walking fast ahead of him. Otherwise, he would be left behind, means he would be left alone in the city and he doesn't know where to go. Then, when you see the old man closely, you can see his face was full of pain or agony. Suddenly, he could go no more. He set his burden down with great gentleness and sank upon the ground. His head sunk between his knees, his eyes closed, panting desperately. Starved as he was, a little blood rose in dark patches on his cheeks. A ragged vendor selling hot noodles set his stand near and shouted his trade cry as the light from the stand fell on the old man's drooping figure. Then, in the last paragraph, already we saw that the man was walking in the last of the line. Now, suddenly, he was not able to walk anymore. So, he sat there. Now, see the meanings. Burden, heavy weight. Gentleness, softness or kindness. Sink, to drop to a lower position. Panting, breathing with short breaths. Desperately, feeling that a situation was impossible to deal with. Vendor, seller. Drooping, bending. Now when the old man was not able to go forward, he stops there. He don't want to go anymore. So he stops there. Keeps his burden, means his weight which he was carrying on his shoulders, keeps that with great softness, means gentleness, he keeps the load on the ground. Then his head he kept between his knees. His head was between his knees when he was sitting on the ground. Then his eyes were closed. He was breathing heavily, means fast. In a fast manner he was breathing. When you walk for so long or run, you breathe fast. That is called breathing heavily. He was also breathing heavily. As he was old, he has little blood in his body. That little blood also came to his face as dark patches on his cheeks. Then when he was sitting, next to that there was a vendor, means seller, who was selling hot noodles. He kept his stand there where the man was sitting, and then he started shouting. As you can see, if you go to a market also, the people will keep small vehicles there and they will shout what they were selling. Even this seller also, who was selling noodles, started shouting to sell his items. Whatever he was selling, hot noodles, he was shouting the names of those things. And he has a light on his stand. Even if you go to market also, you can see in the night they keep lights on their stand so that people can see what they were selling. Even the light of the vendor's stand, it was falling on the face of the old man, whose face was bending to the ground as he was not able to walk anymore.